First up, we're looking at a story that has once again sparked a massive debate over how women are treated on the big screen. It's a familiar pattern in the film industry. A movie becomes a massive commercial hit, crossing over 236 crore rupees at the worldwide box office. This is just the beginning, but the conversation surrounding this particular film has turned incredibly sour. The film in question is Peddi, directed by Butchi Babu Sana. While the producers are celebrating the box office numbers, social media is erupting with anger, raising serious red flags over the alleged hypersexualization of the female lead, Achiyamma, played by Janhvi Kapoor. And viewers and critics alike are pointing out that instead of developing a meaningful character, the filmmaking reduces this character and Janhvi Kapoor's role to a mere visual spectacle, a romantic prop. That's it. The camera work has faced heavy accusation for prioritizing her body over her character depth. Audiences have highlighted several deeply troubling sequences in the film as well. And it begins right from her introduction shot. Many viewers say the camera reportedly focuses on her body for an extended period before even showing her face. And there is a non-consensual kissing scene portrayed as romance, a dialogue where the hero boasts about touching her without permission or consent, and a public humiliation scene where a woman's degradation is used simply as a setup for the hero to sweep in and save the day. Once again, mainstream cinema stands accused of glamorizing stalking and treating non-consensual behavior as romance, as love, problematic behavior as love, quote unquote. And then came the alleged leaked chats from Janhvi Kapoor's fan clubs. In these messages, purportedly from Janhvi Kapoor herself, she talks about telling the director no body shots, about her co-actor Ram Charan stepping in on set and putting his foot down, and about her frustration with how the camera was being used. She says in one of those purported chats, allegedly, that they talk about a close-up but they come in for a cleavage shot. And her alleged words were, and we quote her directly, they'll say close-up and put camera on your cleavage, quote unquote. Her team has not independently authenticated these chats, but the internet has run away with them, and they have added a sharp new dimension to an already heated debate. Director Butchi Babu Sana has since apologized. He has said it was never the intention to objectify or disrespect any female character. He has ordered edits to the theatrical cut, but the film is already out. The scenes are already in public memory. An apology after release, after 236 crore rupees at the box office, raises questions of its own. And this apology feels like a temporary band-aid on a much larger systemic issue. Data from Oxfam, it shows that objectification is present in a staggering 88% of films that were studied. Women are framed as visual spectacles, their characters written to support male stories, their bodies used to commercial tools to sell the film before it even opens. And the pattern repeats. The controversy erupts, apologies are issued, and the next film does the same thing again. We've got an esteemed set of panelists, the right kind of voices that you need to listen to. And the big question that we'd like to underscore here tonight. If 88% of Indian films objectify women, is this a few bad directors, or is this a structural problem that the industry is simply not willing to fix? And when a director apologizes after the film has already made 230 plus crore rupees, is that accountability or is that now damage control? As long as audiences keep watching and box office keeps rewarding these films, does the industry have any real reason to change at large? Kasturi Shankar, actor and social activist, is going to be with us. Gautam Chintamani, author, writer, film historian, with us on the broadcast. Many thanks, Gautam. And Girish Wankhede, film trade analyst, with us on the broadcast as well. You see, Gautam, let's get the snowball rolling here. The alleged leaked chats, let's focus on that. They suggest that Janhvi Kapoor may have raised concerns during the production itself, reportedly saying that they say close-up and then they come and take cleavage shots. If this is true, does this indicate a deeper trust deficit between the actresses and the filmmakers? I mean, it's one thing to glamorize a movie, but then to voyeuristically linger at some of those body shots, that paints a completely different picture.
Namaskar, you're absolutely right. In fact, I remember that in 2017 when I wrote my book, Pink, the Inside Story, which looked at the making of the film Pink, but more importantly, it looked at how women were depicted in popular Hindi cinema. There was a case that I refer to in the book. This was reported in Australia. A person of Indian origin who had gone there to study was charged with stalking And when the when the issue went up to the magistrate, he cited innocence, saying that this was his culture. And when the magistrate asked
Wow.
that, what do you mean that this is your culture? He said, Ki, I grew up watching these films, and in this, na mein haan hona, inkar mein ikrar hona, and the way women were depicted, I believe that these are normal. And I think that, the person was let off lightly because the judge kind of understood that point and the mindset. But that is not the point that we're talking about here. The thing is that if Janhvi had not, if these messages, these alleged messages had not come out,
Yeah.
it was not as if we would not be aware of what was being discussed here. This is something which is very, very inherent to popular massy films now. There is an argument which can be made that this is just 10% of the film. There's also an argument which can be made that as long as people like and people are thronging to the cinema halls, but people will throng to anything which is of that hyped in nature. But that does not mean that this is not an issue. This is a very big issue. This is an inherent issue, and I think that actors wield a little more power than what is being made out here. If Ramcharan Teja, according to the messages, had mentioned this to the director, then I think it's completely damage control more than anything else. Chal jata to theek tha. That should not be the attitude, and I think that this is something bigger than that. At the end of the day, cinema is not an accident. Filmmaking is not an accident. These decisions are very consciously taken, and it's time that they are called out while they're being done and not allowed. Of course, the filmmakers can give you any kind of argument, but the director to apologize now after the film has come out and after it has made the kind of killing, this is just damage control to my eye, to my sensibilities.
Okay, Gautam, many thanks for your opening submissions. You're right. I mean, to normalize sexual assault, to normalize this kind of problematic behavior, I mean, you shouldn't be given a free pass to just run away with it. Kasturi Shankar now joins us on the broadcast as well. Kasturi, you see, the outrage is not simply about glamour. Critics and many of those that have watched the film, they point to specific scenes where Janhvi Kapoor's character is introduced through those voyeuristic, lingering body shots before her face is even shown. I mean to say, what point does cinematic glamour become objectification? Because we know about glamorization, glamorizing the films, but to what extent? I mean, Masi Masala is one thing, but then you've got a voyeuristic soft porn that's happening on the other side. And the director has now apologized, just like Gautam was talking about. He's promised edits, but all of this has happened after the release. How do you look at it? What's your assessment? If scenes are being changed after public backlash, I mean, it suggests that the audience has identified a problem, but the creators and the actors who worked in it either missed it or then chose to ignore it. What's really happening here?
Okay, I want to actually address 3 points. Number one, we will get to the objectification and the depiction of a female lead in a movie. We will get to that. But the first point is not even about how women are depicted in the movies. I did see a caption here on this program which said it happens all the time in the South. That's not about the depiction of women, because there are movies in the North which copy from movies from the West. So the objectification of women is a shortcut that a lot of filmmakers resort to. It's unfortunate that in a movie starring a superstar, a top actor of Telugu movies, people have to resort to that because they don't need that. The opening is not about the lead actor's cleavage. The opening is all about Ram Charan Teja, and they didn't need it. I think the voyeuristic tendency is a reflection of the filmmakers more than the film audience itself in Telugu. So let me first clarify that. But the second thing is, the more important thing is consent. If you wanted to show a woman wearing it all on screen, there are hundreds of actors who would actually be okay with that kind of an opportunity. You do not need to deceive someone. That too of the stature of a Janhvi Kapoor, and you're going to go around and cheat on her. You know, why would you need to do that?
Yeah.
What about consent? I mean, maybe if you had told her this is what you want to do, and she says yes, that's absolutely fine. Look at the clothes she's wearing. She's aware that nobody in Andhra dresses like that. Let's be honest. She's aware that she is there for the glamour quotient and she's playing along with it. Why would you need to, you know, subvertively, surreptitiously expose her even more? What's with that?
That's a great point.
That's crazy because you could have told her maybe she would have said no, maybe she would have said yes, maybe she would have said that would cost more. We don't know that. But you didn't give her a chance. You didn't get you consent.
In some of those alleged,
Lack of
alleged and leaked
professionalism.
chats, Kasturi, Janhvi also says that, I had such a hard time making them understand, don't do this. I mean, she's put it out a couple of times before the shot was actually even taken. And there's also a scene. I mean, how sexual assault is being normalized. There's a scene where, Ram Charan's character also says that, I'm going to touch her without consent. So this is the problematic behavior which is being, pushed out surreptitiously, like you said, as romance and love.
That scene was called out. Fortunately for India, thank God. I mean, I'm proud to be a Hyderabadi. That scene was called out left, right, and center by the people who watched the movie and were completely shocked because it's unnecessary. And number two, let's not forget, people who glorify their hero, they don't want to see a Ram Charan groping a woman in the dark. Yeah, come on. That's demeaning to the hero. That's bad portrayal of both the girl and the guy.
Absolutely.
So thank God that people called it out. And that's why the director is apologizing, because I'm pretty sure that Ram Charan would have given him a piece of his mind at some point.
100%.
The movie is getting, it's backfiring on the movie. But I'm saying at the end of the day, it comes down to professionalism. Depiction of women, there's been everything. We've seen everything in Hindi movies. We've seen everything in Indian movies. So, the whole gamut of portraying women in every kind of sleazy manner is not new to Indian movies, okay? Voyeurism is not new to Indian movies. That's one point.
There are two prime points that have come out here, Kasturi, two prime points that you've raised. Is that first, that filmmakers are still confusing harassment, with courtship. That has to be a big no-no. And the consent part that you just spoke about. You can always ask, why do you want to cheat the actress? Why, if the actress says yes to a particular scene, then go ahead with it. Why do you want to, cheat her into a sleazy shot? You're absolutely right. Janhvi Kapoor knows what her actual role over there is. But, this is also a story about how a tribal community is being marginalized. She hails from a tribal community. She could have been given so much more power, except that she is dismissed and reduced to just a single romantic prop. I'm going to come back to you, Kasturi. We also have with us Mr. Wankhede, who's been waiting very patiently. Mr. Wankhede, you see, critics are arguing that Peddi is not the only example here. It is but the latest example in a long tradition that includes films like, you've got Kabir Singh, Arjun Reddy, Animal People Spokes. Indian cinema, why has it struggled for decades with romanticizing problematic male behavior at large? And this, of course, deals into patriarchy and the institutionalized patriarchy that we deal with as well.
Of course, it is not only South Indian cinema, but even in our Hindi films, if you see the films of 80s, especially of Mithun Chakravarti and Dharmendra and Shatru Sinha and many stars, there was not much of an actress or a main lead girl has to do. She was just a showpiece. And if that was not enough, then we used to have the item songs where a girl will come, she will gyrate on the music and she will be pushed as the another eye candy for the film. So it is a regular practice for all the Indian films. They write the stories which are actually author backed for the male character, and female characters are just the showpieces. They just want to exploit their beauty, their body, and that is what we can see. And it is not the first time. It has been there for many years. Now with the advent of social media, people are talking about it. It's the first time so many people have talked about it. They are talking about not only the over-sexuality of Janhvi Kapoor in the film, but they are talking about how a director treats his female counterpart. So these are all elements now. Everything is debated, and that is a wonderful thing. Now is the time where we need to restrict this. This has been there. All your 80% of Tamil and Telugu cinema, if you see, there will be always a hero who will be harassing a girl, who will be from Kabir Singh to you take a name of Arjun Reddy or any film, 70 or the 80 percent of the film are male oriented, where there is not much of author backed character written for the female leads, and that has been happening. But now, with Janhvi Kapoor talking about it, with Hero talking about it, with social media erupting about it, this is the right time to address this issue. People should come up and
You're absolutely right.
they should talk about it. They should talk about, and basically, when a writer writes and a director writes, they should take this as a case study. If this happens in Peddi, it will happen to every film which will come after this. So this should serve as a notice to everybody who is making such films. And this film is not like this, such films will be at least 80 or 90, 80 to 70% of the films are like this in Tamil and Telugu stable.